Videodrome is a film from 1982 about the disturbing changes technology is capable of inflicting on the human body and our senses. Through the transformation of the film's protagonist, we can see how the oversaturation of media destabilizes our identity and agency, blurring the very distinction between what is and what is not real. The film uses the ideas of the media theorist Marshall McLuhan that technology is an extension of the human body that ends up altering that body. Videodrome creator David Cronenberg, known for his signature brand of body horror, illustrates this process in which various technologies fuse with the body, creating monstrous hybrids of man and machine. The character Professor Oblivion is based on Marshall McLuhan. He is described as a media prophet who only appears on the television when he's on television to bring attention to the medium, and how it has externalized and extended the mind, altering our identities and the raw perception of reality. He predicts a future evolution in which media technology will be completely indistinguishable from reality. McLuhan's phrase, "the medium is the message," meant that the particular medium or formal structure of a media technology has a more meaningful impact on society than any of the actual content. That societies become defined by the way their media technology opens up and enhances certain ways of communicating and connecting. Whether it's through a written alphabet, printing press, television, or the internet matters more than the specific content of what is communicated. The claim that television images are so widespread and penetrating that they have become indistinguishable from reality and even begun to replace it is reflected by Jean Baudrillard in his concept of the hyperreal, an inability to distinguish reality and illusion resulting in the dissolution of TV into life and the dissolution of life into TV. Videodrome continuously aims to bring attention to the fact that it's a video about the powerful effect of video on viewers. The plot revolves around the imperceptible videodrome signal, hidden in a video, that infects the viewer with a brain tumor that causes hallucinations that blur the boundaries between living bodies and media technology. McLuhan believed that the overwhelming focus on the foregrounded content of a medium often hid the significant hypnotic effect of the medium itself as a background. However, the artist, as a creator of sense perception through a medium, can become sensitive to these background effects and retrieve the medium as a focal concern within the content. Often the retrieval of the medium is done through the presentation of a TV itself as a focus, or the point of view of a spectator. The media devices are displayed as active and violent, aggressively intruding upon and violating a passive viewer. McLuhan's notion of technological extensions of the body as outward projection now become extensions outside their boundaries, incorporated back into the body. The portrayal of media technology as aggressive intruder expands itself to scenes about penetration and insertion. The protagonist Max undergoes transformation to essentially a human VCR player. He develops an obviously suggestive slit in his stomach, in which a character named Convex inserts a tape into the orifice that reprograms and controls Max to do his bidding. Now programmed to do the bidding of a shadowy institution known as Spectacular Optical, this leads to questions about how technology opens spaces for potential institutional control and external influence. Videodrome uses the viewer's innate fear of alien intrusion of the mind and the body to demonstrate the loss of autonomy as media transgresses the boundaries of the self to inject its ulterior motives. In tension with the role of external control, the film also shows the seemingly internal forces that drive us towards the dissolution of our own boundaries within new spaces of media connections. Characters often push themselves into new hybrid amalgamations with media because it offers itself as an object of desire to be united with, an ecstatic transgression of our own limits beyond the merely human. Some characters seek stimulation through moral and sexual transgression, through blurring the boundaries of pain and pleasure, of bodily harm and its felt presence. This relation is mirrored in the viewer of the film, as the media spectator seeks to be stimulated and harmed by the sublimated violence, pain, and pleasure that is simulated in the spectacle. Philosopher Gilles Deleuze was interested in how subjectivity was formed and dissolved, and the impact of images, concepts, and affects to influence this process, in which desire seeks to build new assemblages of itself with others. For Deleuze, we are already multiplicities of possible selves, or machinic connections, defined by the artistic process of self-creation through the connections we incorporate. Deleuze's concept of the rhizome illustrates how nonlinear connections can be formed in a way that maximizes creative possibilities. With any one connection capable of connecting with any other, with no center or leader, and no monolithic structure overdetermining or limiting flows, nor capable of mapping, predicting, and codifying, life becomes transversal experimentation. Deleuze offers ways to answer problematic questions regarding the tendency towards autonomy to be compromised and captured in the limited territories of possible identities and desires coded by institutional forces of stratification. Instead, he formulated a way of living in the medial and liminal spaces between static categories that sustain structures of power. After Max is reprogrammed into the video word made flesh, recalling how the alphabet enabled the word or logos to be conceived as divine incarnation, here the same pattern of the medium that signified meaning and embodied reality in each other's image has now become the living embodiment of the visual medium and its absolute self-recursive retrieval of its innate visibility. In the closing scene, Max is lured one last time by his mediated object of desire towards a new becoming, a total transformation that first requires the death of the old flesh. After seeing an image of himself on a TV shoot himself, the television explodes as a mix of electronics and bodily organs pour out. Max looks at the viewer and declares, "Long live the new flesh!" A shot rings out. This incredible ending is in many ways masterfully ambiguous and intentionally so. This is due to the ambiguity latent in our own desire for intensity, novelty, and the power to connect, a reflection of the ongoing self-construction of our nomadic identity. This inner ambiguity is extended through our technological extensions and the mediated spaces of control, communication, and creation that we embody. One interpretation is that this is a cautionary tale about desire's ecstatic transgression of the body in a media environment oversaturating us with an endless carnival of images, fantasies, flat identities, and external institutional controls. If we rush headfirst into the overstimulating world of objects and simulations, that we too may realize that we have become self-annihilating simulacra. Or, this new flesh is the new technological medium now possible due to the retrieval of the medium in the video flesh. Like the future itself, it is beyond any current representation or existent signifier. The imminent unfolding evolution of the mediated self, Deleuze's real virtuality, the plane of all possible realities, it is pure differentiation, a trans-temporal rhizome of potential connections, co-implicated with the actual.